I've tried to film this like 3 times now, and I failed every single time. I'm doing it with a script now, which feels very unnatural, but also trying to do it off the cuff has been very unnatural. I just want to like be able to talk, but I also don't want to forget anything. Let's just give it a try. There's Sasha. Sasha's behind me. Probably for like consistency of my like audio quality, I should probably like be clipping this, but I really like being able to like hold it and like have something to speak into. It's very fun. Okay, hello. I want to talk about my favorite BL. BL, I feel like, is something that is widely popular, but still embarrassing enough that you don't want to get into specifics when discussing it. Or it's kind of in that like fan fiction realm where we all agree that we love and we read fan fiction. Text posts about how they go to bed and they read their bedtime fan fiction, right? We all do this. But when you ask someone to like show their AO3 history, it's like crickets. We all agree that that is still in the private realm. We can't go there. That is someone's private history, and we don't pry into people's like the details of what people are into, which I think is respectable. But I've been feeling a little encouraged lately because recently I was at a work lunch with like my normal human colleagues that are like 30 and up, and one of them mentioned that their like girlfriend or wife or whoever loves to read her fairy smut. Like, I don't have a TikTok, but I've absorbed through like internet osmosis the concept of book talk, and that a particular genre that is very popular is like the fantasy romance porn shit. And it's gotten so big that people are just like talking about the porn that they read at work openly with like other people who like haven't mentioned that they are into that as well. Like it's just a thing, which is kind of weird, but also it's kind of fun. It's kind of liberating, and it makes me want to talk about the weird porn that I like to read on this family-friendly platform. Listen, BL is a little controversial. I feel like it's been a lot more common for there to be like think pieces and like video essays discussing the hows and why of the whys and hows of BL, like why specifically straight women typically really enjoy it and why so many read it. And that's great. I love that stuff. I have watched so many videos about it. I love to be psychoanalyzed as much as possible. I want to understand my own psyche. Please, if I could, it would be amazing. I feel like people should continue to do that and try and understand why we do the things we do. But sometimes people engage in unhealthy habits, and this is one that I really like right now. So I'm just, life is hard. But regardless of, the ethicality, I still feel like no one can deny that people are reading this shit. On my website of choice for reading BL, which will remain unnamed for various reasons, take a look at like the top like straight romance, whether it's like the cute, very chaste shoujo or the like raunchy smut shit. And the views, like if you check the numbers, here I can, where the fuck is my phone? Oh, I'm filming with my phone. I can't check, but I already looked it up. I think the top straight romance, which I identified by finding a boy and a girl on the cover, very scientific. And the top views for that one was like 6 million. Very respectable. Like I haven't read it, but I'm sure it's great. It's a good, oh. What do you have to say? Mikey's here. He likes it when I talk. Whee! Hold on, I'm thirsty. But in comparison, the Yowie tag, the top views, 89 million. As of when I looked it up. Bloodbath, murder. It's not even close. Top one isn't even that good. And that's a story for another day. I don't want to like shit on what people like, but it is not for me. And like, don't get me wrong, I love trash. Like most BL, I feel like even if I don't like it, I will probably read it a little bit. I will skim just because I'm curious. Also, I feel like I do have some standards. And that's the thing. I feel like when people think of BL, they think about the shitty ones, because those are the ones that get all the attention and like the discourse. Like I remember when Killing Stalking was big. It's like I feel like this art form is being slightly misrepresented. There is good shit. There's so much BL out there. I think it's valid to call it an art form, because there are some artists out there that make some top tier shit and they deserve respect. Taking this ridiculous medium of BL, manga, manhwa, webtoons, whatever the fuck, and making some goddamn art with it, okay? And although they are in the same realm as all of the trashy ones, I mean, they're all kind of trashy, but like, I want people to be aware that like there's some things of taste. Like, just when you think of someone who is a fan of BL, a fujoshi, if you will, that they are not all just like, you know, reading garbage, okay? It is kind of garbage, but like, you know, there's standards. Come on. In the garbage pile of people who enjoy BL, I think it's still worthwhile to differentiate ourselves from the rest and say, no, I am not like the other BL fans. I like good ones. Because I know that they exist out there, okay? The fellow people of taste, the connoisseurs. So enough preamble. This is a random list, no order, of the various BL that I can think of right now that I think are good and would recommend if you are out there and are curious about the genre and don't want to be in like the slog of just all of the really crappy ones when like you're really young and you're like getting into fan fiction and shit and you're just reading garbage. If you're lucky, I guess maybe you get to like some really good authors. For the most part, you're in the trenches for a while, right? Like you have no idea of what to look for and your standards are really low and you're just like in the trash heap. But you can skip that. With proper guidance, you can skip it. Develop the, you know, artistic eye to find the good shit that you want. As you meet people who are they're in the trash heap. You deserve better. You deserve better. And it is my responsibility to educate you. This list runs the gamut from like more chaste to more nasty. So like know what you're looking for and what you're getting into, okay? Adults only. And let me see, how many do I have? This is a list of 5, by the way. 5 things. I didn't count beforehand. Starting off with a fun one. The one about the feet. I believe the English title, I don't know if it's official or not, is Loved from the Tips of My Toes. This one's a sleeper hit, okay? Just trust me on this one. This is like the typical like manga format of BL where it's like a single volume short story, 5 to 6 chapters with usually like an extra. Because these ones are short and quick, you do get the vibe that the author just like picks a funny or interesting topic and is like, I'm gonna make a volume based off of this. And clearly this one was about feet. Like, you know, it would be funny to make a BL manga about feet. And they were right. It worked. It grabbed my attention because about feet, I gotta read. Gotta see what it's about. And listen, I love weird shit. One of my favorite types of BL are like the ones with really weird concepts, but then they actually kind of take themselves seriously and take it to like its natural conclusion and really like work with it. And one of my favorite types of BL. And I think this one would count as one of those because I'm not really big on like feet stuff, I swear. But this one catches your eye. BL all about feet. Even the name has feet in it. But then you end up getting a surprisingly like sweet and earnest little romance story that kind of uses the feet as like the vehicle to deliver a metaphor about love and shit. And hell yeah, I think that's great. I love when an author manages to surprise me. That's art, baby. A big recommend personally, unless you're really anti-feet. But number 2, 4-Week Lovers. This one is a Korean manhwa webtoon, online vertical layout type shit. I just kind of call them all webtoons because that's the name that like I'm used to saying it. So like, it's a webtoon. And it is a longer one, but it is complete. I really enjoyed it. The art style is very gorgeous. The characters and the writing is very cute. I feel like this one is kind of like basic. Like it appeals to more people. It's a cute romance following a cute couple that's in college. Nothing too crazy. It builds on it in a way that I think is very well executed. My Mickey's laying in my laundry on my pants. Whee. And you know, I have struggled writing this on how to like objectively rate the quality of porn in like a professional, neutral way. But there are differences in quality. We would all agree, right? And I do think it's an art form, whether it's like written or drawn. We all know that it is a skill that clearly some artists have and others might not have. All I can tell you is that this one I think is really good. You're just gonna have to kind of trust my judgment on it, but I think I have pretty good taste. Whatever the objective qualities of porn that make it good, like from a straight female perspective, a straight-ish female perspective, I think this one has it. So just trust me. And maybe it's all personal and subjective anyways, but like I feel like we can still say that like some are typically better executed than others with some level of standard, right? So yeah, 4-week livers. It's good. Number 3, kind of a similar one to the last one, the new employee. We all know this one's a classic. It's just good. Similar to the last one, this one's also a webtoon style longer one that's already completed, and it's just so good. Nothing too complex or crazy. A cute couple between these 2 office workers, and it's got some great freak shit. I don't know, because I know YouTube apparently has like some restrictions when it comes to like explicit language or like topics. So I'm just going to call the nasty stuff, the adult-oriented stuff, the freak shit. Because I can't think of how else to talk about it. Just all around great. Not much to say here. It's just good. Just go read it if you're interested. Just go. Number 4, Aporia. Oh my gosh, this one's so close to my heart. I love this one. The other ones were kind of more like typical romance fare. Well, maybe not the one with the feet. But, you know, this one is a little more specifically centered around kink, BDSM, and stuff. And I am not super well versed at all in like that culture. I am a pure and innocent maiden, maybe even asexual, I would say, if you catch my drift. I'm an outsider here. But as an outsider, I do feel like this BL seems to go about showing this kind of relationship, the dynamics, and, you know, the execution of concepts pretty deftly. And from other, like, reviews or even comments I've seen, it seems like other people agree. I really love how the author / artist goes about building the relationship and showing the changes, the ups and downs, the developments. I just think it's all really well done. I just really enjoy it. Now, some BL have an actual, like, plot and story that it follows, with the romance and like the freak on the side, just like floating through the plot. But others, the characters basically are the story. I feel like that's kind of the difference between like a story with romance and smut included, and erotica as a separate genre, right? And like in erotica as a separate genre, the entire plot is the characters. It is the relationship and their thoughts and experiences, and the freak is part of that. The development happens through the freak. Like in a non-freak story, the equivalent to the freak is the action scene, right? Does anyone understand what the fuck I'm saying? Aporia is firmly in the latter, I feel, where the plot is the relationship. Another thing, I like my romance to be very basic. I don't really enjoy like unhealthy relationship dynamics. I like it reading romance where people like each other and are nice to each other. I go to this shit for fun, okay? I don't want to be stressed out. But that being said, I can totally get that sometimes, especially when a relationship is the story, sometimes having problems and issues between characters or in character arcs can be really interesting and well thought out when done well, in a way that I think is worth it, as like an exploration of people and their psyches and personalities and thoughts and shit. And this is one of those cases. So like, be aware, I don't think I would give this one a content warning. Not really that extreme, but like, it's not 100% rainbows and sunshine. So I feel like it's a good thing to be aware of what you're going into and what you're looking for. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that gives some good context. I think it's worth it though. I think this one's A+. And number 5, this one's a double feature, 2-for-1 special. It is Hyperventilation and Mignon. Oh my god. Because these ones were actually made by the exact same author and creator. And they are actually animations, short films. And I am going to call them short films because I feel like that implies that they are art, which they are, okay? I remember watching a damn TikTok on Instagram. I know it's called a different thing, but they're all TikToks, where someone was like watching Hyperventilation in the background. And the comments were asking what it was. And I was appalled. This is a PS... Hello? My cats were fighting. This is a PSA. If you are into this type of shit, this is required viewing. It is that good. It's as good as it gets. The creator and the teams behind these 2 pieces deserve to get paid $1 million each for the art that they are providing, because no one else is doing it like them. God damn. I think there is actually like a short comic of Hyperventilation as well. It's the same as the animation. It's just done in like a webtoon style like manga strip thing. But if you aren't aware, these are little like episode little short films. They're kind of similar to each other in that they follow a relationship and just tell this little story about them. And they're both encapsulated with some of the most beautiful, like, sex scenes captured in animation ever created. I mean, maybe there's more out there, but I don't know them. I haven't seen them. Mignon was created second, and you can kind of tell because it is just sort of hyperventilation, but more episodes, there's more voice acting, more animation in general, but both are excellent. And this is really one of the ones where I wish I had like the skills and knowledge to objectively explain why the sex scenes are so good in these, but like, please just take my word for it. First thing that comes to my mind when I want to explain why sometimes I feel like porn can be art, just put on your headphones, okay? Get cozy and go watch them, or not. You know, it's up to you. If you're into it, I think you'll enjoy it. And there are just so many more out there. I could think of a bunch of them that I am having fun reading right now. Like, I'm specifically thinking about the one with the guy who's an orca. But this one is just like a little list of some that I think are really high class. And so whenever I'm trying to like, you know, list off a few that are like permanently in my brain and I'm happy to like publicly associate with myself. Fuck. Does anyone else feel as strongly as I do about this? Do you also think Jinx is kind of trash? Because sometimes I just go on to like the manga viewing websites of choice and I look at the top viewed BL and I just think, dear God, oh. Oh, Maggie! Okay, bye!